Welcome back! Let's go on an adventure and see if we can find some Suziki. Let's go! All right, to the aspen. There is. There's another clump. Everyone likes Suziki, even the deer. So yeah, these ones are a little bit more mature than we normally harvest. Usually you don't harvest. I mean, once you see the flower head come up, you leave them. But yeah, normally we harvest quite a bit younger than this. Actually, if you can get them when they're just stalks coming up and you just see the leaves in a whirl, that's ideal, like an asparagus kind of idea. That's the best time to pick them, but even when they're just young and they have a few leaves coming out, that's really good too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I eat them. When you're sad to see them go, I eat them at this stage too sometimes, but they already have their flower head, so it's good to just let them go and mature and live out their life so that you have more for next year. So yeah, one of the first things we like to forage for in spring is Suziki. So it seems to be a really common thing in the Doukhobor community. We grew up eating Suziki. Usually, and I mean, we typically find it, yeah, one of the first things that comes up once snow melts. So maybe the first couple weeks of April, first few weeks of April is when we used to find it. This year, everything was behind, so it was quite a bit later. The last couple of weeks of April, we were finding it, but like we mentioned before, it comes up as a stalk first, and that's the ideal time to pick it, kind of like wild asparagus. And then, but even in this stage before the flower head comes to the end, I still pick it at this stage too, and I just steam it, and it's still really good. The stems can get tough, but I still like it. But usually a little younger than this is the ideal time to eat it. And you treat it very similar to spinach. You could steam it, fry it with garlic, butter, throw it into soups. You can make spinach pie with it, you know, really anything. It's a green, so you can cook it and use it as a green. Ideally, you cook it. I mean, I nibble on it raw when I'm going to the bush with the dogs, but too much and you can kind of get a stomachache, especially when you're just getting into it for like the beginning of spring. You kind of want to ease your body into it. So that's what we did. We started with just a little bit here and there just to get your body used to it, and then we were eating quite a bit as it all came out. But like with all foraging, don't pick it all in one area. Make sure you pick, I mean, I try to use the rule like a third. So if you find a clump like this, I would only take a third. And usually I would try and pick, like say that this was a little bit bigger, I would pick this small guy, and then that would give this guy a bigger chance to grow as well. Because a lot of the times, Suziki grows very close to each other in clumps. So if you're gonna harvest about a third, and then kind of get the smaller guys and like kind of like when you thin carrots. That's what I try and do. But yeah, anyway, it's really it's amazing, versatile vegetable. We love it. So yeah, we call this Suziki. The The common term is false Solomon seal, or Latin is Smalicina racemosa. I think that's how you say Latin. If someone knows the proper pronunciation, correct me. And there's a couple lookalikes. So there's one poisonous lookalike. When it first emerges, Indian hellebore looks similar. And it's very important to know where you're harvesting, where you're harvesting and what it looks like, because Indian hellebore is very, very poisonous, and it can look very similar to Suziki when it first emerges as a stalk. Another one that looks similar when it first emerges is Hooker's fairy bells, but that's not known to be poisonous. But again, a positive ID is very important. Don't go picking anything that comes up looking like a stalk, because yeah, it could be very dangerous. And it grows, it spreads either from seed or it is rhizomal. So that's why you tend to find it in these clumps together like this. Here's another nice clump. When you do find them, they do tend to grow close to each other like this. Yeah, here's some younger ones. So I would pick, again, it's late in the season, it might be a bit tougher, but I would still pick it and eat these ones. There's no seed head developed or no flower head developed yet. So yeah, these ones will be good. So it's when the leaves start to come out and it starts to grow like this, it's easy to distinguish from other plants by one, its leaf arrangement. So the leaves are all on one main stalk, and at the end, the flower head is at the end. It's a terminal flower head. Only one flower head, big flower head at the end. So that's a really easy way to distinguish it as it matures. Hooker's fairy bells has branching leaves like this. So all the leaves aren't on one stem. They branch out from each other, and they have two flowers at the end of each branch, kind of thing. So it's fairly distinguishable when it's mature. So there's two flowers at the end, as opposed to false Solomon seal, which has that one big terminal flower head. So that's the easiest way to distinguish it. There are no other plants like this that have that big white terminal flower head. So you know that it's false Solomon seal. But at the younger stage, yeah, it's easy to distinguish just by the leaves being on one stem. And these leaves have this venation. You know, all the veins are very straight. I use that as well. And it does have a distinct flavor and smell. So again, I don't encourage this, but sometimes when I'm not sure, I'll take a piece of the leaf and chew a little bit. And you know, Suziki is one of the only things that has that taste. So we know it's Suziki. There's also another plant, again, I have to ID it. But when it's really, really young, it kind of looks similar. And I tried it, and it has a very bitter flavor, which bitter usually isn't the best. So spat it out. But so it's distinguishable by its flavor. Again, I don't recommend doing that. But taste does help. It makes a difference, you can tell. Oh, Lily. I think we figured out. So I was to say, you often see the lilies come up first, and then the Suziki come up soon after. Ooh, Uri, look at the violets! That's pretty, that's new. Getting distracted. Looking. Nope, just bracken fern. Ooh, a nest! Oh, good eye! So busy looking down for mushrooms. Very cool. I don't know if it's last year's. Looks like it, huh? Oh, wow.